Hello, parents. So, I have a big project for us to do, and it was for me to do, honestly, but with my recent being absent and being in the hospital, which everything's going well. Thank you for all your emails. Um, I just had tendonitis in my neck, which got a little out of hand. It was wild. Um, but with that, I didn't have time to do our bow lighting. I really wanted to make a deal out of it with the students. However, it takes some time. I'm messing with the lights now. I'm going to flick them on. You see that? And I'm going to ask for your help with that. I'm going to show you how to tape these lights to your students' bows in this hopefully brief video. It takes a while, so I guess it won't be brief. But if you can please help me out with it. It is kind of a tedious task, but we're kind of rushing things for this concert. Students are doing great, the music sounds great, but now it's just time to tie up the loose ends and untangle some knots. So, first, when you receive your lights, they're going to come raveled up, and with that, when you untangle them, it has all these kinks and stuff in it. You should go ahead and straighten it out first. It's going to make putting it on the bow easier. Okay, so take off your wires, and if you see, there's like these little kinks right here that just come from being circled up. If I unkink those, is that a word? Kind of straighten all those little things out. It's going to make putting it across the bow easier. Now, for the sake of speed, I'm going to go ahead and not do that step and show you how hard it can be if you don't. It's good to keep your lights on while you're doing this to kind of have idea of where the lights are going. Okay, but here's your student's bow, and where these need to go, these little battery packs here with the little on-off switch is kind of hanging out. Now it would fit perfectly, there, but I'd rather your student's thumb be able to rest on their bow. Some people are learning to hold their bow here. Later on, they learn to put their thumb up higher, but some of your students are still here, and we need to make room for those students, especially 4th grade. So this thing is going to go almost to the end of that, but leave enough space for their thumb. When we tape it, it doesn't... First off, don't be afraid of taping your bow, even if it's a rental. It's kind of a common practice. There's lots of markers and tape markers that you can put on a bow to mark for different bow lengths and bow spacings and stuff, so don't be afraid of that. They're used to it. But I'm using just regular Scotch tape. It's easy to peel off of the bow when you're done if you need to when you need to return it. You don't need to return these lights. You get to keep them. But see the way I tape that? I would do just a few layers right there, leaving enough room for their thumb to rest right where the switch can be. And this, in case this comes loose or something, this part can always be taped up. This part can always be taped up. Everything else, though, you want to be more precise with your taping. So this, we're going to strum the string just like this over. You want to avoid any of these parts right here where the students rest their finger for some of their bow holds. So kind of work around it and then put the first piece of tape right here. Okay. There are no lights there. It's okay to tape over a light and just try to avoid it. So I do that, and I'm not going to finish this just so that you guys, just so I don't take so much of your time. But you stretch the bow across, and then you put the piece of tape at the other end, and then these lights, you fold, keep on folding back and forth between those two pieces of tape. I was taping the middle ones at first, like kind of making sure to tape here and here, but I'm finding that it's better to do that at the end. So I just keep folding back and forth, making sure the lights are on the top. some students ask if we can candy cane them around. That does get messy, and it's just best to kind of keep it nice and tight here and here. I'm going to finish this one right in front of you guys. But if you can do this with your students' bows, take a few minutes out of your day to make our concert epic. This is for some of our last numbers, which are Star Wars songs. So I just kept on folding it. Notice I didn't tape the middle. Once again, that's so important. Tape that at the very end, because you're going to save yourself a lot of work if you do it that way. So I'm taping this side again. And with the extra slack, just kind of find a place to tape it. I'm going to tape over these lights right here with this Scotch tape. Just like that. And you see that? Kind of makes a pretty light. Ha! Yes, look at that. That's going to be quite the show, huh? The lights are not straight, you know, but it's the best I can do last minute. These are on Amazon. If you somehow break yours or lose yours, just look for these. Well, I'll send you a link for where these are at. So please do this with your students' bows. Our concert is May 20th at 7 o'clock in the multipurpose room. Okay. All right. Have fun with that. I should push stop before I turn off the lights, huh?